Okay, why don't we begin with some of the examples you brought with you today?
Great. All right. So I have three main examples of how we use Pullstream's tools and some of our own things to gather feedback. The first one is everybody's looking at a slide right now that has Brian's whiteboard on it. Brian Dunn is our CEO. He is completely engaged in social networks and social capital and sees the tremendous value in listening to employees. His site is his own webpage. It's owned and run by him. It's not ghost-written. It's not, put together by PR and communications. I mean, it's what he wants to talk about and what he wants to know. His site has several ways to provide feedback. The one that I wanted to focus on is the poll, which you can see to the left under the little picture of the globe. And it works really well for three reasons, because it provides quick feedback to Brian. If there's something he's curious about, we can get a poll out quickly. We can gather the information, and the results are quick enough that we can send him in a text message or a quick phone call, like his primary means of reaching out when he needs something quickly. It's also it's the gateway communicator to the CEO. It seems, even though Brian is incredibly open and very laid back and very unassuming, it still can be somewhat intimidating to say, how do I tell the CEO what I think?
Sure.
So you just click on a box, and you have now given the CEO your opinion, but in a much less intimidating way. And it also, along the speed example, it gives our employees a way to get in and out quickly. So if they're helping people on the floor, if they're not at their computer, they can come in, pop in, read the questions, give their opinion, and then they're on their way again.
Great. We actually have a question while you're on Brian's whiteboard. Is the RSS a feed of an article theme?
Yes.
Okay.
So we call it's essentially a blog. We call it the debrief, but it's the RSS feed for that middle hunk is what that is.
Okay.
For lack of a better way to put it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll jump to the next slide. So we use Pullstream for a weekly internet poll, and we use this to gauge business or to build culture. For example, the movie The Hangover came out on DVD yesterday.
Right.
And one of the stars is Bradley Cooper. So you may or may not be able to read this. We're currently asking our employees, who's your favorite Cooper, with options of Anderson, Bradley, Minnie, and a few others. So it's kind of a way just for us to be timely and lighthearted. It's busy selling season for our employees. It's a piece of our culture. A more relevant business example is we're sending a production crew and several employees to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in early January. So we're going to use this poll to find out what employees want to hear about. So that will help us effectively cover and tailor the right things. So we're not having film crews out recording stuff that nobody wants to see or taking notes and spending time on things that people aren't interested in. And it's really going to help us tailor the information that we bring back in a way that employees want it and talk about what employees want to hear about.
So that's probably a great example of one of the powers inherent in social software technologies that take large companies like Best Buy with over 160,000 employees and make their experience much smaller and more meaningful and personal.
Absolutely. And then it also, again, shows that, hey, if we ask about what people want to hear about and everybody wants to hear about the new 3D television, if we come back with content that doesn't include 3D television, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
And Betsy, you might want to jump in here because that would speak to your second point, I believe, which was about using questions to validate.
Sure, and I was looking at the questions that they did. One key is if you can get I don't know about you guys, Ericka, but if you can get a 30-something or a 20-something to write this, it's a lot better than somebody in my baby boom age where we kind of write Dilbert speak. But if you can get somebody to ask really fun conversational questions, even if it's around a business issue, you get people engaged. So yeah, I think including questions, sometimes you can put multiple choice and then leave another, really gets them engaged. And to Ericka's point too, it helps you understand what they're interested in. And now you can really, again, it's not statistically valid, but it creates a conversation around what they want to know more about, and then you can target that. The other two things I wanted to mention, though, as I was listening, Ericka, to you, is the question about RSS. One of the things that is fabulous about this, that if we should use it as often as possible, is either RSS or an alert feature. Like, for example, we use SharePoint apologetically, but we do, and they do have alert features. So one of the biggest leadership concerns that I keep hearing expressed by people who don't understand this is people don't have time to remember to go look out at that board or go look there. In many of these instances, if you can set alerts or RSS, they don't have to remember, and in fact, they're telling you what they want to know about, and you don't have to remind them they've already taken that action to do so. And the other was, Ericka mentions she's got employees who aren't even on a computer all day like mine are, and but there's a concern because mine are on the computer serving our customers on the phone, and leaders again worry about the time it takes. But often it's just to get in and get out, make a quick thought, but now they feel like they're part of the conversation. So it really takes very little time, but I'd argue that the benefit is substantial.
That's great, and I'd also add, Betsy and Ericka, that poll and email is also a great way to reach people.
Right.
Absolutely. The real estate of don't make your employees go out and search and hunt and peck and take forever to find it. Either put it in an email, put it front and center, give them an RSS feed, do something. Let them know that you want to hear what they have to say and that it's easy for them to do so.
That's great. Do we want to go to your next?